All right, we're rolling up here to house number, whatever number this is. Just got permits on this guy. We're doing just a little bit of work, a lot of work. Problem with this house is the outside is the good part. So I can only imagine what the inside looks like. Let's go. So this is like a blank slate kind of house. Blank slate. I think a blank slate might have been a step in the right direction. Now it's currently set up as a 3-2 and set up as a little generous. So once we're done with it, it's going to be a very nice 3-2. But it's going to take a little bit of money and a little bit of time and then a lot more money to get it where it needs to go. Got a contractor here, Gabe again. He's going to walk through. We're going to talk about some work, see what we need to do. Let's see about these windows. Going through the back door, you said? All right. So we closed on this 2 weeks ago. A week and a half ago, I think. We got our permits. We got the plans drawn up actually before we closed, and then submitted the plans like the day after we closed to the city. Weatherford, actually super fast. They had a 1 week turnaround with the permits. So we just got them approved and we are ready to basically rock and roll. We're just waiting on him. But especially things like this, you got to do a lot more coordination, right? It's not just a house you can throw a painter at and get it done. You got to coordinate. We got to get the framer guys out here first before we can get the electrician out, before we can get the plumber out, before we can get the HVAC out. So framer's the most important thing. And then you got to coordinate the whole process. So that's why multiple trade jobs really take more time. There's just a lot more going on, a lot more to do. So we're gonna get some measurements and see a couple things we want to do in here. See how to get it done. So what we're doing is we're going to replace all the windows, but we got to go inside and see how far off the ground the windows are, because if a window is within, we got to check either 18 or 24 inches of the floor, something like that. It needs to be tempered glass on the bottom pane, and we don't want to pay for that because that's a lot more money. So we're going to look at framing some of these windows up so the bottom of them is off the floor a little bit, and so you can just put in a kind of pre-made window that you get at like Home Depot or Lowe's. Reason for that is because the whole coronavirus, it's tough to get custom-made windows in a like kind of expedited time frame, 3, 4, 5 weeks out, 6 weeks out, sometimes even right now. So if we can just get a stock window, put it in, it'll be a lot better than messing around. And the extra framing, we're gonna have to re-side this house anyhow. We're gonna have to retrim the house. So a couple 2x4s to bring up the framing a little bit. Really doesn't cost us much except for a little bit in terms of material, because labor, they're already out here doing it, so labor is really kind of negligible. So what we're doing is, so good news is you guys are subscribing and smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Second bit of good news is we just checked our windows on the inside and we double checked code. And code is if the windows are more than 18 inches off the ground, then they don't need to be tempered. So we just checked the ones that we weren't quite sure about, because we weren't sure if it was 18 or 24, and we weren't sure exactly how far the windows went, but they are 18 inches off the ground. So basically we can just put in a stock window as long as we get ones that fit the opening size. So that's actually really good news. It'll save us some hassle with framing and save us a little bit of money on material for windows. So that's cool. Next thing we're doing is, let's talk about the work, right? So there's good things about this house. One good thing is we bought it cheap. So that's good. That's about the only good thing, let's be honest. We got solid nail down hardwood oak throughout the entire thing, which is pretty awesome. So that's fun. We got it cheap, so we got a blank slate to deal with. So we can do whatever we want to in here. And we're just gonna make it nice. We're gonna update it, make it nice. Biggest thing is, for like changing stuff, we're gonna open up this entire wall right here and make it a big old like open floor plan kind of thing. So Gabe's figuring that out right now. We're in the living room, so nothing much changes in here. We're gonna put a ceiling fan up here and a couple can lights in here. Kitchen is gonna be here. So we're gonna have an island, probably gonna have a fridge right there. Then we'll have cabinets on the back wall right here. Over here is the master. So this is the laundry area right here. And then we have a decent sized master. So master bathroom over here, master closet right here, and then the rest of this is master bedroom. So when we bought this house, we walk through and we look at it, it's like, okay, this is clearly a converted garage at some point. Problem with that is if it's done with permits, then we can do pretty much whatever we want to, you know, as long within reason. We gotta like, you know, but we can keep it a converted garage. If the garage is converted without permits, which is kind of typical of what a lot of folks sometimes do. Fuck, dude, trying to do a fucking video here. Are you allowed to say fuck on YouTube? Yeah. All right, sweet. Anyway, if it's done without permits, then there's a likelihood you'd have to convert the garage back to a garage. And we don't want to do that because we cut out all the square footage and that really kind of changed the dynamics of the property. So as part of our due diligence before we bought, we verified with the city that this can stay square footage and can stay as a converted garage without doing any changes to the outside. So we're solid there. If it wasn't done with permits, then in Weatherford, this changes per city, so it really depends, but Weatherford said that if it wasn't done with permits, we would have had to turn it back into a garage, or if we wanted to keep it converted, we'd have to add a garage for 2 cars. There's no place on this property to do that because of the setback from the front. There's no way to drive around the back. And at this price point, it's not like, that's just not economical. So that would have changed the entire dynamics of the deal. It may have killed the deal, or it may have meant we had to renegotiate with the sellers, which we're not a big fan of doing. But if there's something that materially changes, like a lot about the job, a lot about the property, then there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing unethical about that. It just changes the whole deal. Fortunately, we're good. So we're gonna make it look good, and then we're gonna sell it, and then we're gonna hopefully make money. We'll see, that's hopefully, see how that goes. Anyway, other than that, it's a good house. The floor plan's functional, bedrooms are good size, bathrooms are decent size, kitchen will look nice. It's just a great little house, great little neighborhood. So it's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be a minute before we get it done.